the concept of toxic masculinity, and we look at men who are so tough that they bully other people, or we look at men that are rapey, and they take advantage of women, or they they don't allow women to advance in the workplace or have a good old boys club or whatever, and those kinds of things. Sure, those things are toxic, but they're toxic. They're not inherently masculine, and maybe there are some gender issues that revolve around them, but the problem is, yes, those concepts are real and we need to address those. But when we erase the language and just get down to the behavior itself, the behavior is toxic, and it doesn't matter what gender they're applied to. Those behaviors are toxic. And what's happened, and what I think that the intention is the intention by somebody somewhere, and we could spend a whole episode talking about my philosophies on that. Maybe I'll talk about it in a minute, but somebody somewhere wants to degrade the concept of masculinity in our culture. And I'm not a fan of playing the victim, but I do firmly believe that that's the intention. And as evidenced by the American Psychological Association, that puts out a study that says traditional masculinity is harmful for boys. Wait, I thought you said that toxic masculinity was harmful. No, now they're saying traditional masculinity is harmful. Okay, what is harmful about being traditionally a man? You're saying you're saying a non-traditional male is not harmful? So what does that mean? It's a word game, and the goal of the word game has nothing to do with the first two words, toxic and traditional. It has to do with attacking the second word and tearing that down. And I had Elliot Holtz recently on my podcast, and he blames Marxism. And I think, honestly, it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Like I said, we could unpack that further. He goes a little further than I might with some of it, but I honestly think that the goal there is that there are forces in our culture that don't like the idea that a man is a good thing. They don't like the idea that a powerful man being who he's created to be is a good thing. And so they are going to do whatever they can to culturally shift that narrative. A man that has power is a bad thing. Anybody that has power is a bad thing. That's what Marxism is. It tears down the thing in power to replace it with something else. The problem is now you've replaced that thing with a new thing, and now that thing has power. So then that has to be torn down too. And you just keep tearing down everything. Like Marxism doesn't ever have a winner. You have a winner for a week or two, and then you have to tear down that power too, Oh,
and you see it, right? You consume your young, and it's happening.